Reverend David Trainer, senior pastor of the New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church of the rural area of Cheek in Beaumont, Texas.
I'm Reverend Dr. Bobby Best. I'm the pastor of Metropolitan CME Church here in Houston, Texas. I'm a native of North Carolina, and I've only been in Houston for 2 years. And I'm coming from, prior to coming here, I was in Oklahoma City for 4 years.
Okay.
But I've been in ministry for about 28 years, pastoring. Been totally in ministry about 32 years.
I've been pastoring here 6 years and 6 months.
My name is Michelle Mathis, and I've been a member of Metropolitan for about 8 years.
My name is Odella Bob, and I've been a member here basically about 40 years.
My name is Bettina Patterson. I've actually been a member of Metropolitan all of my life. I grew up in this church, and so we originally were located off of Cullen, and so I was there at that location and at our new location.
My name is Ardith Geyer, and I have been a member of this church for all my life. Likewise, I started at the church when it was on Holman and Ty-Wester. Then in the early 90s, we moved on Cullen and Vulcan. Church burned Christmas of 2005, and we are now here at this present location. So this is my only church I've ever been a member of.
The church is predominantly African American. We do have a few Caucasian parishioners. It's basically of country individuals out here in the rural area. And one of the things that I promote or I work on, should I say, I preach on, is about bringing unity in the community.
The primary goal of the church, of course, is to share the love of Christ. And of course, we do that through witnessing and through outreach ministries and, helping families and persons know the love of Christ, that we will be an example of what love is all about.
HIV and AIDS. When I first became aware of HIV and AIDS, I was very frightened about it because I didn't know much about it. And then I began to educate myself because I knew people that had been infected with the virus. And so I wanted to make sure that I knew what HIV and AIDS was.
I feel that it's an epidemic that needs to be very much addressed, as well as keeping our communities aware of it. I do believe that it needs to be practiced and taught, first of all, mainly in our churches, as it relates to not only keeping them aware and making an awareness of how serious this really is, but more so of the fact, what can we do, even as God's people, to crack down on such things, such as being in situation of what HIV or with AIDS?
I have been engaged in the struggle to educate our people in reference to AIDS and HIV for a number of years. Have started some task forces and organizations to do that and to help bring some awareness to the disease and its cause, and to try to stamp out some of the fears and all of those things. I've done that for really just about every church I've pastored in the last 28 years. Recently here we did something in reference to hosting a AIDS quilt program that we celebrated the lives of those who died for AIDS. And Cheryl Lee Raff was the person who was over that, and had a lot of people from the community to come out as we commemorated, the death of persons who died with AIDS and HIV.
I feel sad about it because I feel like we, our kids or even our grown-ups should have been more educated on HIV and AIDS. And I think about how many youngsters these days, they really don't take it seriously, and so I just wish that we would have more people teaching and even having workshops on AIDS, and how important it is to protect yourself from this kind of devastating disease.
I think it has been very devastating on the Black community because of lack of education for what we know. For whatever reason, we as African Americans tend not to want to be educated about HIV because we tend to think of HIV and we tend to think of homosexuality, which in our book is a big no-no. But if you would look at the face of HIV and AIDS in the African American community, it falls a lot on African American females and males and females between the ages of 17 to 35.
Well, I think also it's not just about the lack of education, but it's also kind of just the fear. There is, with the lack of education, there is fear, but I think a lot of individuals, they hear HIV AIDS and they've heard stories about it, or they've seen things, and even individuals that know it's not just, related to homosexuality, they're afraid to learn more about it or to know if they have HIV AIDS just because of the stigma that still is associated with it in 2012.